Hi everybody.
Hi everybody, I am Maggie and
Elsa.
Las Mil Amores. Today we're gonna kind of give you guys a
Little brief explanation on a while back we spoke about having an artificial insemination.
Okay, you guys, so the title of this back then was Single Mother by Choice, and it was something that my sister and I used to always talk about here in social media. So you guys can kind of get an idea of what an artificial insemination is.
Basically, anybody could go ahead and donate sperm to you, and you could go ahead and basically keep it like in a sperm bank, and when you're ready you go and you take it to a professional doctor that could go ahead and help you have a child. Or you could go ahead and basically, if you don't know of anyone that wants to donate sperm that you're cool with, you could just go
to a sperm bank and they'll freeze your eggs. So we're gonna give you guys an explanation how we had came up with this idea. So I'm actually the one that kind of learned about this. I was in college, and kind of like a brief explanation. I myself, ever since I was really young, I never cared for marriage nor having any kids. And I dated a lot. I mean, I've had a lot of boyfriends, and throughout the dating, I remember a lot of them would bring up like having children or a future like in marriage or conversations, and I used to act very immature about it, and I would act like ew, or like I can't imagine a brain growing inside of my stomach. And as I kind of like started getting older, I was like, hey, I really don't want kids, and I really don't want to get married. I was never really looking to fall in love.
So me, I always wanted to get married and have kids, and it was like something that I always wanted to do. I remember that like I always would think of like the perfect dress, the perfect wedding. Like I was even obsessed with like 4 weddings. I wanted to get married. I wanted that cake, the perfect guy. I wanted to have like a boy and a girl. I even had like the names for like the kids, where I was gonna live, what kind of fence I was gonna have. Like that was me. But basically I always met the wrong guys, and honestly it got really tiring because I fell in love with my music career and being an artista.
And me, I would actually, the wrong guy, the guys would fall in love with the wrong girl. I was actually the wrong girl for them. I was not girlfriend material nor wife material. I actually kind of always dreamed for the life that I already have. Fame, success, education, and having a cat and a dog, and being by my parents always. So I am actually living my...
So me, I always got that type of guy that was like a player, que básicamente he was abusive, tóxico, blah, 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 blah. And honestly, it would get me really tired. And then it just never was the the guy that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. So like honestly it got so tiring, and when I became an artista, a singer, everything slash blah blah blah, everything that I am, I fell in love with it. And honestly I just wanted to take that into like full everything.
So I remember I was around, maybe I would say around 19 or 20 years old when I first learned about Single Mother by Choice. You could get pregnant by whenever you would be ready. You would freeze your eggs, collect the sperm donor, or collect the sperm from the person, or it didn't have to technically be like a boyfriend or like a conocido or someone you didn't know. I actually learned it, you guys, off of Mujer Casos de la Vida Real. It's so hilarious, you guys, okay? It was a caso about a lady, and she was very successful, but she just didn't want to get married. And I remember everyone around me kind of thought I was weird, because that's just something that I would always say, like, I don't want kids and that. And seeing that there was an episode about someone, I was like, oh my God, is this episode created because of me? So I remember I presented the idea to my sister, and I told her, hey, maybe later on in life, I might, after I am done with, because I thought I was going to be an FBI agent, okay? And after I am like done with that career, and maybe one day when I am like in my late or mid 30s, I might freeze my eggs in my 20s, get a sperm donor, and once I'm ready, I might have a kid. And she was like, what?
So me, I remember that I used to see the soap opera, and I was so into the soap opera, and in there salía una girl que era una lawyer. I wanted to be like a lawyer. I really did. I was like a lawyer, a psychologist. What do I want to do? I wanted to be either or. And I remember that I fell in love with this girl because she was so independent. And I was like, wow, I want to be something like her, like bien independiente, like bien así, but like, you know, like, I don't know. Ya después de que the soap opera went the wrong way and she ended up being with the gangster of the soap opera, y mire que pobrecita, her career went downhill. I was like, wait a minute, you know what? Me tengo que alejar de los vatos que la verdad are really horrible. So when my sister presented this idea to me, I was like, hey, pues, I mean, I think I do want to have kids, so maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea.
So I remember running this idea, for my mom, and mom was like, sí, así, like, yeah, sure. And from there, you guys, I remember. So finally, after so many years, we have a gynecologist. He's a general doctor in Tijuana, Baja California. His name is Dr. Jose Luis Carlos Hernandez. Del Amor Hernandez. Yeah, Mexico, they have a lot of last names, but so he's in Tijuana. He's been our doctor for years.
Yes. So yes, he has.
And I remember I presented the idea to him, and he was like, "Well, I mean, it doesn't sound bad, but I mean, you sound kind of like if you're having second thoughts when the idea of being a mother is presented to you. I don't know. I kind of noticed you kind of like if you're just not really there mentally, like if you're kind of just doing this like because te conviene, like." Really, do you really see yourself being a mom? And I was like, well, maybe later on in the future, can you like freeze my eggs? I have the sperm donor. And he was like, okay, well, once you're ready, bring him to Tijuana, you come, and I'll start the process.
So I love this doctor. I've been his patient since I was a little girl. I met him because of my mom. And this doctor, yo siempre le he tenido mucha confianza. And when I told him, I think I want to do it too. I think I want to have an artificial insemination done one day. He told me, mira, Elcita, para de jugar con tu vida. Tú sabes que no. Tú sabes que tú, la verdad, estás hecha para el matrimonio. Yo le dije, es que no estoy. Es que la verdad, all these guys that I get, la verdad, realmente no me quitan mucho el tiempo. I really want to just, end up being like, basically like a Jenny Rivera. And he was like, ay. Okay, pues when you're ready, bring the guy or whatever and we'll get this going.
Okay, so my sperm donor is actually my best friend. I've known him, I would say, since my last year of high school. He did not attend the same high school that I went to. He actually attended Wilson High School, and we met him when we used to party at Potrero nightclub. And from there, we just became really good friends. And the relationship was just always friends. It was always like him, her girlfriends, me, my boyfriends, but me and him were always just friends. And in college, I kind of started presenting him the idea like, oh my God, I'm going to like get a sperm donor one day and I'm going to freeze my eggs. And he was like, I'll give you my sperm. And I was like, oh no, like that's my reaction. And he was like, well, why not? I mean, I've been your friend for years. It's almost been like a decade already. Why not? And I was like, all right then. So that's kind of like how the whole idea got started, messing around, and he ended up being my sperm donor.
Okay, so how did I meet mine? Well, so again, here I go. I was with the